created a spec ad for Adidas Original and JD Sports in under 2 weeks, from ideation to post-production with no budget. Let's get into post-production.
That's good.
This is my first spec of the summer, I'm pretty sure, right? So coming from client work, this was just, it was like rainbows and like flowers for me. I've never been so happy because shout out to Nate. But it speaks volumes to how important getting this project out was, because we wrapped Sunday evening and by Monday evening I had seen almost similar to the final fight. So like you were at it. I didn't hear from you all on Monday.
Yeah.
In the morning it was like, hey, like we have to do da-da-da today, and it was new. And then Sunday night and Monday night it was just like, what? I didn't even expect that. I thought maybe you were just resting off from the weekend. But I was like, you really went to work on it, and it really does speak volumes. Because as creators, we know like there's nothing that will make you stay in the editing room like that, other than something you just truly believe in. Like you're like, I need this to come out. So I would love you to speak about what was the first thing you got to in the post.
I guess I can break down how I coached it. So each night after we shot, I think Sunday was the only exception. I did that Monday. I organized the footage into day 1 and day 2, and then each location in those folders. So day 1 we shot the Real Jerk, and we shot Old Hotel patio. Day 2 we shot the car wash, and then the car stuff, and then the outside B-roll. So I organized the footage into folders, and then when I put it into my editor, now everything was already organized. Then I had to pull up my storyboard, just get an idea of how things are supposed to flow. And then I realistically had to look through every single take and see what takes were good. If I liked the take, I'd write it down. Let's say I was left with 2, I'd pick the best between the 2. And that's the take we went through that ended up on the timeline. Okay. And then when I put it on the timeline, I then had to go find the matching audio. So I would look at the slate. If it's scene 1, take 5, I'll go look for that audio recording, sync it up on the timeline, cut the parts that I want, and then I'd sequence just like that. And then I basically went in sequential order from the beginning to end of the project. And when I had a skeleton, that's when I started sort of like playing with things a bit more. But because dialogue was so important in this, I wanted to make sure that I had it down packed. Another trick that I had on this is after day 1, so after the Saturday at Old Hotel and Real Jerk, when I got home, we got home around probably like 7 or 8, something like that, maybe 9 out of. So it wasn't crazy late. I actually took all the footage and started sequencing things to see if things would fit well together, because that would let me know if we needed to do a pickup day or if anything like that, which I was really praying that we didn't have to, and we didn't have to.
I just want to let you know you got home at 11.
Did I?
Yeah.
Okay, I got home at 11.
We wrapped at 8. And you were messaging me
that's
at
right,
1,
that's right.
saying, yo, you're cooking up right now.
Yo, honestly,
I don't know what you were, Nate. You're a madman.
that goes
I don't
to
know
show.
why you make it seem like you're normal. We got home at close to midnight, and you were cooking up.
That goes to show how excited I was to really bring this thing together.
You were.
And because we had a later start the next day, I was like, screw it, we're here.
It wasn't that late of a start. It was 10 a.m.
We were versed like
There's 6 a.m.
6 a.m., right?
Cool copy, but insane, because I was dead. Everybody was dead. Everyone was like, I can't believe I'm going back tomorrow. And you were cooking up. I was like, you're nuts.
I think the biggest driving factor is I wanted to make sure that the idea was going to work. We didn't have time.
You wanted to be confident.
Yeah.
These are learning experiences from past specs of you just feeling like you got it because you did it in the moment, but you never really know until you're editing.
Well, we didn't have time to do a previs, right? So a previs is basically when you actually shoot, the light version of your commercial project. So you take your phone and go to different locations and shoot the movements and get the angles and stuff that you're looking for. You piece that together as a rough cut to make sure that everything you're trying to do from beginning to end works. And sometimes it'll reveal that certain things don't work and you're at it and you'll have to tweak it or tweak your script. We didn't have time for that because we shot this in 2 weeks. Like, we're either location scouting or either building out scripts, building out treatments, building out references and mood boards and talking to talent and cast and locations. Like, we were always doing everything in the project. We didn't have time to do a previs.
Or a tech scout.
Or tech scout, really. So that edit that night was like, I had to make sure that things were going to work.
Yeah.
or else I'd have to scrap certain things and then pivot, right? If it didn't. So yeah, to me, maybe it felt like 8 p.m., but I guess it was.
It was
like-
midnight.
it was midnight.
It was midnight.
I was
Like you saying 8 p.m. threw me right now. It's like I was at the old hotel at 8 p.m.
That's right.
I think you time was a thing for you then. You know what I mean? Like you weren't living on our time. You were just thinking of the project, which is fair because you're directing, DP, and editing. So you could only put on your editing brain after you've completely wrapped your DP brain, right? So it's like I get why you went into it immediately, but I still think it was crazy. Like, but I think it gave you the confidence for the next day of being like, oh, like I know where these are going. Like only you knew the skeleton at that point. But when we spoke, you're like, oh, like this is like it's working. Like it's really puzzle. It almost felt like puzzle pieces too. Like you're like, oh, like everything's fitting where I thought it was gonna fit, and that's a really good feeling. Hearing from your DP when you're tired.
Yeah, it basically doing that rough version of the dailies that we shot on day 1 gave me that confidence in day 2 that what we're shooting was gonna work, and it took off any stress or anxiety from thinking it may or may not work, right? And that same energy carried into Monday when I actually started working on things. So when I got home Sunday night, I didn't touch anything. I put all my like bags on the ground. I didn't take out any media, nothing. Monday morning, that's when I dumped, organized things, and started working. I already knew things were gonna work, but I also dissociated myself from that rough cut that I worked on Saturday night. Yeah, I didn't look at it at all because I didn't want the way I cut it to influence the way I cut this. I wanted to come in with a fresh perspective.
Got it.
And so that allowed me to make things more succinct, not to hold on shots as long and that kind of thing.
I had a feeling because you were talking about the skeleton on Saturday that it might be 2 minutes and a half.
Yeah.
And I was just like 2 minutes and a half. I always knew you were gonna get it down to a minute and 30, but you're like, no, this is gonna be like long. It's a minute and 30.
Yeah.
So
So I guess if there's any suggestions that I would give for post, it's like going with a clear mind. If you're feeling hazy when you're going into post, put it down for a bit, revisit. Fresh mind really helps you get your ideas out. And especially if you're planning stuff, reference your storyboards and your shot list to make sure you're getting what you want on what you intended. And yeah,